Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, friends. In here, we come from Group 9. We'll present our topic about separate and integrate teacher knowledge base and teacher professional learning. And before it, I will introduce my member groups. My name is Prislia Hulu as moderator, and my friend Fred Raja Gugu, Citra Nengguan, and Widya Ambarita. And for the first slide, will be read by my friend Citra Nenggolan.
Separate and integrate teacher knowledge base, whether being students in teacher education or in service teacher preparing for educational innovation. Teachers have three important sources to learn from. The first is the theory of the teacher education or professional development institute. For example, research has been conducted on how students learn, how teacher may best explain certain topics to students, how certain teaching learning methods may best be used, why students have trouble with certain topics, how the student brain works, and etc. Moreover, pedagogical models and learning theories have been developed. Well-educated teachers should know about this scientific of theoretical knowledge. The second is teacher must build up practical experience with teaching in general or new teaching learning methods in particular, and by reflecting on those experiences, build up experiential knowledge about how they may best deal with certain classes or certain types of students, what their own strong and weak side are, why they should teach differently in school compared to school B, and etc. And the last is, but not least, pre and in service teachers may learn a lot from the rich practical knowledge of experienced teacher educators, mentors, and other teachers in the school. Teachers as learners should not only acquire knowledge from these three different sources, they also should compare, contrast, and integrate these types of knowledge into a coherent whole. Research has shown that when people don't do this, they develop three more or less independent knowledge bases, in which especially one's own experiential knowledge regulates their actions in classroom practice. These actions are then primarily regulated by knowledge gained from one's own practical experience, secondly, by the practical knowledge gained from experienced colleagues at the school, and thirdly, by the collective theoretical knowledge gained from the educational institute. This doesn't seem a desired situation. The central objective in the learning, education, and professional development of teachers is to bring about an integrated knowledge base, in which the three different kinds of knowledge are brought together into the knowledge base, and in which this integrated knowledge base or theory of practice regulates teachers and classroom practice.
Okay, I will continue about teacher professional learning, a model of teacher learning patterns in context or CV Vermeuth and Endelging 2011. It based on the well-researched model of student learning patterns, the learning activity that teachers used to learn about their profession or in the center of models. These learning activities are controlled by regulation activities, which in turn are influenced by teacher knowledge and belief about their own learning, or their metacognitive knowledge and belief, learning, conception, and etc., and their learning motivation. Together, these four components, and especially the interrelation among these components, constitute learning patterns and learning activities that learning undertake influence the learning outcomes they attain, and these learning outcomes are input for new learning process. Learning patterns are innate within conceptual and person-bound factors. Science learning almost always takes place in a social environment. The dominance of student learning has a long established tradition in research on patterns in learning. However, research on teacher learning patterns has only just begun. Uh, Study both student-teacher learning activities, self-regulation of learning. They analyze portfolio segment on the present of 6 types of learning activities, namely remembering, evaluating, analyze, critical processing, diagnosis, and reflecting. The result, students that 93% of the learning activities involved in the portfolio refer to remembering and evaluating in the case mean that a event has described that has occurred in the past. For example, something that had happened during a lesson. Evaluation means that a fail judgment was attacked to be the described event that went well, wrong, badly, and etc. Only 7% of the learning activities identified in the portfolio refers to the deep approach and self-regulation in learning, analyze and diagnose, critical processing and reflecting of or on the those event. 14.1 Learning of experienced teacher in especially needed when teachers are confronted with innovation in educational practice. In a recent project, the central question was how experienced teachers learn from their process practice in the context of educational reform.
Okay, I will continue. Case study. Character Education is a new program prioritized by the Ministry of Education and Culture. As a new program, it still faces many obstacles. These constraints are: the first, character values developed in school have not been described in representative indicator. These unrepresentative and good indicator cause difficulties in measuring their applicability. The second, school have not been able to choose character values and values that are in accordance with their contents. The third, there are so many character values, both those given by Ministry of Education and Culture as well as from other sources. The fourth, teacher understanding of the concept of character education is still not comprehensive. The number of teachers in Indonesia of more than million is a very large program target. Character education program have not been well socialized to all teachers, so they do not understand it. The character has not been able to choose the values and character values that are in accordance with the subject he teaches. In addition to general character values in the subject, there are also character values that need to be developed by tutors. Okay, the next. The second, integrity of teacher educators. Teacher qualification test considering A. Knowledge of the field. The first, the teacher makes a self-evaluation of his performance. The second, check it with field evidence. The third, see when teaching is really competent and makes students understand and enjoy learning. The fourth, the result of writing of progress report teacher
innovation every year. And the last, personality, as long as it does not violate the teacher code of ethics.
And the conclusion for our topic, as educators, we work with many individuals who are entrusted to be our students. Loyalty to a company and educate them is part of what we should do. We are required to be steadfast and patient in dealing with them. Patience is part of loyalty. Loyalty is part of integrity. In the economy, we know that currency movements, whether up or down, are always in the range of support and resistance points. The support point is the lowest point of the currency movement that day. The resistance point is the highest point of the currency movement. If the currency moves up, it is always below the resistance point. Otherwise, if it moves down, it is always above the support point. So is our integrity. Every day, our integrity rises and falls. The points of support and resistance are the right point and the wrong point. Sometimes we move against our integrity, but often we also move with our integrity. The next theory says that if we have penetrated the first point, then we will also penetrate the second, third, and so on. Then it established according to market focus. If our journey or decision conforms to our integrity or breaststroke to the right point, then we will penetrate the next right point so that our integrity will be stronger. On the other hand, if we penetrate the wrong point, then we will penetrate the next wrong point, and eventually we will lose our integrity or identity. I think that's all about our presentation for today, and we don't forget to say thank you for your attention and thank you for your coming. See you.